Welcome back to another episode of the Blogger Breakthrough Summit podcast. I'm your host, Liz Stapleton, here to help you get the most out of your blogging journey with tips, tricks, and a bit of fun along the way. Today we're diving into something that might sound a bit scary at first, but trust me, it's all about giving you the freedom and flexibility you deserve in your business. We're talking about the ICE plan in case of emergency. And to help us break it all down, we've got the brilliant Danielle Levy. I'm going to let her take over.
So ICE stands for in case of emergency. And I would give the additional context. Not only does every business need an ICE plan, every household needs an ICE plan also. But yes, we will have this conversation in the context of businesses. And I would also elaborate on that, even though it's ICE is emergency. Yeah. It's a vacation plan. It's a what if this happens plans. It's a if I have this in place, it'll give me more flexibility later plan. So
I'm sick when I'm not planning to be planned.
Exactly. So I think the connotation with this conversation is that something scary is going to happen, and like it gets people's adrenaline going and people don't want to think about it and all that sort of stuff. But also I would really encourage people to think about the possibility and the freedom that comes with just taking the time to get this stuff in order.
Yes. Okay. So because I feel like it can encompass so much, how do you even go about starting to create one and figuring out what one looks like for you and your business?
Yeah. I think there's a couple of ways to do it. If you're in the throes of business and you're like, I can't even deal with this, and it's like the last thing you want to be thinking about, it can be as simple as creating a folder in your inbox of, oh, I know this has something to do with my ICE plan. I don't really know what yet, but let me just store it there, right? Or that this piece of mail came in, let me shove it in an envelope. Like that's like the bare bones, very passive approach to it, but at least you're kind of like thinking about it, it's aware. If you're like me, and this is because it has to be routine for me, not because I'm any more on top of it than anybody else. I am a freaking mess in all parts of my personal and business life. I work it in as part of my ritual. So every month I do my P&L for my business. And as part of that, it's there's literally a hyperlink that goes right to my ICE plan that says, did you review this? And then it's just a very organic kind of process. I also we have a long weekend coming up here. I will set aside like relaxing time. What else have I changed in my business that can I fold in, where it's like low pressure, dedicated, uninterrupted client time to like really bring things together. So I would say I don't think it's anyone's favorite thing to look forward to in a business, but think about past habits that you've had in your business, like, oh, I have to file my taxes, or, oh, I have to, go through this massive RFP, or whatever that mindset is that you get in when you have to do the thing that seems so big and scary, even if it's not really. That's where you want to get yourself to.
Okay. So you say like you have a thing where it's like review your ICE plan. What is your ICE plan? Like give us some examples of what goes into an ICE plan. Like what does it look like?
Sure. So first of all, on my website, there are ICE plans. Okay. So the way that I think about it is I take my business apart. There's 3 parts to my business. There's the front of the house, sales, marketing, visibility, my social media accounts, etc. There's the house, which are my offers, anything that makes me money in the business. And then the back of the house is operations, legal, finance, team, all that stuff that keeps the business going. And that's how I break my business apart. I think about my business in terms of what blind spots exist, that if this thing happened, what would be the fallout? And the example that I give, and I think this is a convenient example because you have a little friend there with you right now. I was in a multi-million-dollar launch for a client of mine, and our tech VA's furry friend passed away mid-launch. I am a pet owner. Like my kids, my pets, like they're on that same wavelength.
Yeah.
But the level of AWOL that this person took as a result of that loss was not anything like I had ever seen before, and put the entire launch at risk. And the problem was, this was the problem with the business. One, the tech VA was the only person that had one set of login credentials that we needed because we had created it not too long ago. And two, the owner of the business could not figure out how to log into her website so that we could change a couple of things. Right. And I see the cringe that you're making.
Yeah.
But had there been an ICE plan in place,
Yeah.
it happens, right?
Yeah.
It would have been like, this is your host. Here's how you get to the password. We would have thought about who else needs access other than this tech VA who, again, I'm not meaning to sound cold. It was just like, go grieve your cat. But by the way, this launch has to still happen. And like a little bit, had there been a little more planning in that situation, had we not realized there was this blind spot in the business of this particular tech VA that had a little bit too much control, a lot of the anxiety would have just been a non-issue. So hopefully that's an example that never has to happen again. But those are the kinds of things that, when I think about putting together an ICE plan, it's what's the thing am I not planning for that if it happens, like what's my risk tolerance for if this thing happens, how am I going to respond to it?
It's almost like a place to house all the information so that if something falls out, you have the information to give someone to pull in.
Exactly.
All right, there you have it. Why every business needs to have an ICE plan and how to start building one step by step. Huge thanks to Danielle for sharing her wisdom with us today. Remember, having an ICE plan isn't about fearing the worst. It's about preparing for anything and giving yourself the freedom to breathe easy. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you at the next episode.